Alright, today is going to be a bit special. I'll be covering one frame and one weapon because they kind of go hand in hand. And I know most of you are probably thinking, oh, Inaros and a Dagger. Oh, it's covert lethality build. That's all he's good for. Da 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 da. Wrong. These are both good weapons separately. One of which is more going to be a proof of concept right now. But we'll go over the Dagger first, and I will be going over Inaros second. I will link Inaros in the bottom as far as where you want to start in that video to get jumped right to him. But just to keep things short, I'm not going to be versing like a bunch of different enemies and stuff like that because I'm going to be demoing two things at different times. So, first covering the Rakta Dark Dagger. Now, if you guys don't already know, what's really nice about the Rakta Dark Dagger is that if a enemy has a radiation proc on them, any hit with the dagger thereafter will give you shields into overshields. Okay? Now, what makes that very, very good is that when shield gating becomes a thing, and again, this is just a proof of concept, is if you don't know how shield gating works, when you have one shield or more, whatever damage that takes away that shield will not affect your health. As of now, if you look at my health and shield in top right, assuming that I have 0 armor, if I were to take something that did roughly 1,000 damage, I'm going to die, and I still didn't even get dealt all the damage that could have been. I'm going to die. With shield gating, what will happen is that my 150 shields will absorb all of that, and my health will be untouched. And that is what's going to probably make this weapon the most popular weapon in Warframe when shield gating comes out. Again, I don't know. I do not know. Because these tests are going to kind of give you a strong idea of what is going to happen or what can happen. But until shield gating becomes a thing, not much we can do now at this point. So, the dagger first has to be equipped in your hand. It will not work if it's not equipped in your hand. Yeah, you can't quick melee it. Quick meleeing it will not have the effects trigger. Kind of disappointing, but you'll see why that won't even be that big of a deal anyway. So just to kind of give you a rough idea of how I have the build going, I have status as high as I can right now. I do need to throw another Forma and figure out what I want to throw there. I'm thinking about Berserk, so I can attack even faster, and you'll see why. As well, if basically I explained it, you're probably already gonna understand how this is gonna work. Or another elemental mod, just so I can do a bit more damage for condition overload as well as healing return. But I have Gleaming Blight, which is gonna bump up that status a lot, as well as just kind of squeeze a bit more status out of it with these, as well as to give me corrosive, so that I have the radiation corrosive for, you know, being a bit more viable with what I'm fighting. Find Fury, because I want to attack. I want to attack as fast as possible, again, which is why I'm looking to throw out Berserk, because you're probably thinking, like, why with a, 5% crit chance? Hey, if I get it to go off once, I'm attacking faster. Faster means more chances for it to go off. So, to kind of show you how this build is going to work, is I will not be using any War Cry or anything so that I can attack faster. This is all going to be normal attack. What's really good about this is if I get a slash proc on these guys, that will also give me shield back. So I'm not using any armor buffs. Valkyrie does have a lot of armor. I'm kind of barely surviving right now. But as you can see, I'm getting shield back at an alarming rate. But I eventually died. So that's really the big problem right now, and it's kind of hard to really prove if what I'm saying is going to be a thing or not. But as you noticed, when I was attacking, I was getting shield very, very, very quickly. And again, if I got a slash proc to go off, that slash proc, if that enemy is radiated and I have my dagger out, it's going to give me, I could do nothing. I could just stand back, and I'll be getting ticks of shield back, on top of me meleeing them to get shield back. And even if I get little bits of shield, you notice it was happening very quick, and I was getting very little bits of shield. That's not a problem, because the way shield gating is supposed to work is that as long as you have just 1 point of shield, you'll not take health. So even though I'm getting, quickly little bits of shield there, they're still able to get to my health, which thankfully I have, healing return on. But I would be, look how quickly my shields are going up. I should say as well, is I do have auto targeting on for melee, because with the dagger attacks so fast that you end up, I was trying to use it without auto targeting, but I ended up going past the enemies, missing a lot of my hits, just because of how fast you do have this forward momentum, probably because of the, the stance that I'm using. But the problem is that I was going by them, and by doing so, I was missing a lot of my hits, not getting as much shield back, and then dying. It might be more viable once shield gating comes out, and, at least getting one hit on, will be, help me a lot. But what's really cool and what I really like about the radiation, and that being kind of like this perk to the weapon, is that radiation, it helps you in two ways. One, you're getting health back, and then two, they're now basically the equivalent of being controlled by Nyx, so the enemies are going to attack them. So you're actually getting shields, and you're actually being targeted less. Obviously, anything with explosives is not going to help you too much, but any hit scan weapons, lasers, unless their lasers happen to fly by them and hit you, you're not going to be their main target anymore. It's them. So you're getting actually a nice double whammy out of that weapon. So for those that don't know, and I'm just going to demonstrate it really quick, the whole Inaros Dagger thing, if you happen to not know, is if you throw Covert Lethality, and in my personal opinion as well, is if you throw in Berserk, so you can attack even faster while doing it, is you could just insta-kill everything. Simple as that. So, now we're going to go into what makes Inaros not all that bad of a frame, and a very good frame at that. Very, very good. So let me use my beautiful weapon right here. I will link the build to this in the description as well. Is that you don't need a dagger for having him be great. You just need a weapon that can give you health back, and just doesn't matter how. Because I almost completely forgot to show you my build to explain that. As you know me, I absolutely hate using power strength. It just doesn't end up being viable. If you want a build that works in sorties, if you want a build that works in defenses and all that, just power strength can help. It can help in easier low-level stuff. And it can work for some abilities really well if you're building around those specifically. But a lot of the times, range and duration are going to give you just as much viability. It's just not going to give you, you're not going to insta-kill enemies, which again, at low levels doesn't make that much of a difference. My builds are always here to be great in every situation. Like, your 90-minute defense, or 90-minute survival, that you're still going to have skills that are actually going to be useful to you. That's my whole point. Going into his build now, with the upgrades that I'm using. Of course, I'm using Stretch and Overextended for range, Continuity for duration, Vigor, Armored Agility, Steel Fiber, get his armor up as high as I can. Using Skill 4 to then basically double that. Skill 4 doesn't work off Power Strength other than, I believe, the health that you can get back from it. But again, you're going to get health other ways. And then Rage, because you have no shields, so any damage to health will give you energy back, which is going to be great for weapons that, again, having some weapon that gives you health. This one, obviously, I have Healing Return. I did actually change it with Condition Overloads. You might not want to look at the video, actually ignore what I said. Go by this. This is probably easily one of the better melee weapons in the game, in my opinion. But whether you're using a Healing Return healing build, or a Life Strike, because you'll be getting plenty of energy back to get health back, that's why you don't really need to rely on his skills for health back. His skills are, as you're going to notice, completely for CC only, and just showing you that it's just not about having to have a dagger. So let's clear these guys out. Fill this place up with them, and then simulate that. So all the way from back here, that's it, they're all incapacitated. Can't do anything. And then you're free to do with what you wish. You can strip away their armor, get them to about, brink of death, and then go for a kill to get your health back if you'd like. If you don't have a melee weapon that can really, kill them quickly, you can just throw in a couple hits, and then now that he's got really low health, blind them again, and then go for the kill. You can do it that way. Or you can just blind them and melee them. Obviously, if you get too close, obviously longer range weapons are going to be a lot more viable at this. But I can just stay far back and just do the same thing. You don't have to have Covert Lethality. You don't have to use a melee weapon. You can just shoot them. You can use Skill 2. Plant them in place. Run up to them casually. Heal them. As you notice, my Arcane Grace goes off. Arcane Grace, or any arcane that has a on-hit trigger, will still trigger even though you're doing this. I'm probably not going to be lucky enough to have it go off at this point, but it does. I've tested it many times. It's kind of great that, even though his healing for this isn't the greatest because of the low power strength, that you're still getting health back, even though at a slower rate, but you're not getting hurt because of it. And if you have Arcane Grace or any other arcanes, those can trigger as well while you're doing this. Yeah, getting my health back, and my Arcane Grace keeps getting triggered for me to get more health back. Then if they're really screwed, just throw in a 3. Since the range is enormous, you're going to throw everybody around in an area. Just turn it on and off really quick. And then that's it. And then just do with what you please with the enemies. So if you prefer to do that, maybe instead of blinding, because at least with the, if they're blinded, you're going to be stuck mailing them. If you don't want to do this, that can be annoying, but you can do is, get some health. Get some health damage here so you can get, energy. Come on, guys. There we go. Throw that on. Immediately turn it off. And then go in for, ground finisher. And then while they're getting up, being able to melee. And if you notice, I haven't used my skill 4. So I don't have the additional armor. And I'm still doing perfectly fine against these guys. Throwing a blind. Keep them up. So, in a defense, survival, it's a pretty open room with not too many walls blocking everything, or you just set yourself up in a pretty good situation, because you can always jump and do this. And just to kind of even show you that, because a lot of people don't do that. You'd be surprised. Like, a lot of people think Excalibur's radial blind isn't that great, because, you have this whole line of sight nonsense. But a lot of it's just stupid little things, like the enemies being in front of each other, or behind cover, or something like that. But these are 100% viable, or more viable, if you actually jump while using them. So if I do this, it should still... Yeah, they still blinds from up there. I might not even have to look at them. Try over here. Yeah, so my cursor was more above their head on that one. Yeah, I'm still above them and it's still blinding them. So even if they're behind cover, you'll still be able to blind them. Just jump, use it, and it's a little bit better because it doesn't stop you from moving. As you notice, stop. If I jump and do it, I need to get more energy. But if you jump and do it, a lot of the times it's actually a habit for me. I jump and use skills a lot of the time because it keeps your momentum going, so you won't end up getting screwed over. Get a little health here. Boom, use it. Go in, start wrecking face. Whether it be with your guns or whatever it is, just wreck face. Show people that Inaros is actually extremely useful, extremely helpful in every situation. If someone's down, throw out a blind, throw out a tornado, do whatever you want, get them out of the way, leaving someone else able to help them up, or you to be able to help them up. Using skill 2, that you're invincible while using it. So you can even use something like this to kind of get a better situation what's going on, or just tank. Right now, they're all aimed toward me. They'd be ignoring somebody else. So, that is my Inaros, and that is my Rakta Dagger. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I want you all to have a good one.